Good evening, book lovers of the internet. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe because for every subscriber, I get a new subscriber, and I also read a page from a book of my choice. I just had a very refreshing shower, and in today's video, I am going to be reviewing this non-fiction book by Bob Odenkirk called Comedy, Drama, a memoir, or an autobiography, perhaps, depending on how you understand the term. This one has about 270 pages, and I rated it 3 stars, you know? And I mean, of course, I love Bob Odenkirk, but mainly because of his roles in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, as well as in the action movie called Nobody, you know? Um, Brilliant acting throughout, and I completely appreciate that about the guy, but I, of course, apart from the fact that I, of course, appreciate his talent where acting is concerned, when it comes to writing, perhaps I don't appreciate it as much, and I'll, as usual, tell you why whenever there is something that I don't agree with in a book. So, this was not entirely an enjoyable read considering how many people he brought up that helped him improve as an actor and presented him with opportunities that very much ruined the fun of the memoir being about him and his experiences. He is consistently naming people that I have no knowledge of, and many readers, I presume, don't either. And it kind of spoils the fun of the book being about his experiences because he also explains the roles of the people he mentions in his own life, which doesn't really bode well with me as a reader of various autobiographies, biographies, and memoirs. Um, the chapters are way too long. In fact, there are only 10 chapters, and despite being split into smaller chunks, there really isn't a guarantee as to whether or not it will ultimately all make sense chronologically. And at times it tended to be quite confusing because of this, and you don't really know whether you're in the past or in the present, what he is actually talking about, what roles he is discussing with the reader, and that tended to be quite frustrating as well. And for these reasons alone, it took me quite some time to get through. I am not going to shy away from admitting that, you know. As much as I appreciate him as an actor, as a writer, as I mentioned already, not quite as much. And I almost don't think that he wrote it all himself because I am sure that he is a very busy guy, but perhaps he did put in some work himself, considering that it is not the best of works. Even though he is a script writer, which means that he should have some experience when it comes to writing, but perhaps a memoir was quite difficult for him to get through. Even though I rated this one 3 stars, right, which isn't a horrible rating, I was hoping for much better considering this is Bob Odenkirk, such a fantastic and phenomenal person on screen. And regarding how his work deals a lot with comedy, the book I recently reviewed by Michael Phelps called Beneath the Surface, the swimmer dude basically, he made me smile and chuckle way more than Odenkirk's autobiography did or memoir, and I found that to be rather disappointing. I was also reading this alongside the memoir or the autobiography by Matthew Perry called um, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing, which deals a lot with his drug addiction. And neither Odenkirk nor Perry um, really came across as funny people, considering how hard they try to be hilarious, I suppose. And while saying this, I of course acknowledge that at segments they delve into more personal and even more disappointing and depressing moments in their lives, which, you know, it can't be a comedy throughout. There has to be some serious moments to allow for the reader to understand that these are human beings as well at the end of the day. They can't really reach everybody's expectations. Um, at some points, it kind of felt as though I'm the one who has a broken sense of humor and have yet to figure it out myself, I suppose. The name dropping, as I mentioned earlier, was indeed excessive and came across as boastful or eccentric, you know. It felt as though he was trying to show the reader how many connections he has and why he actually ascended in his career and progressed. And got promoted. And I can't say that there are any memorable chapters. There are certain things which will stick with me, which I'll get to in a couple of seconds, but otherwise, I don't think I'll remember much from Odenkirk's life as he's described it so far. I think my favorite characters played by Odenkirk are Saul, of course, from Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, and Hutch from the movie Nobody, an action movie which I thoroughly enjoyed and would recommend to anyone, to be honest. Um, Odenkirk is, of course, an interesting person to say the least, considering his consistency where the comedy is concerned, and how he does learn a lot through error. So, one thing I learned from this memoir is that if one is persistent enough and enjoys what he's doing, he will inevitably succeed, because there is no other way but up. When you're actually enjoying what you're doing, when you are consistent enough, and even on your worst days, as long as you show up, um, you will inevitably succeed because there is no other way for you to go. And that is something that's very motivational. And it is also the mindset that I am certainly working towards when it comes to my aspirations on YouTube and on making videos and creating content for people to watch. And I am certain that I have more potential than Odenkirk, if I have to be honest, because I've seen his work and I think that I can do better, even where comedy is concerned. And I am a huge fan of comedy, so I also have a lot of experience in that area. And I am only 20 years old, so he is much older than I am. I have a lot more time to practice and prepare and reach his level, of course. And in saying this, of course, do not get me wrong, I still think of Odenkirk as an awesome, fantastic guy, and it would be brilliant if I got the opportunity to meet him someday. So, anyway, that's all I had to say about the memoir by Bob Odenkirk called Comedy, 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 Drama. I got this one a few days after it was published, actually. It's in hardback. And if you've read this one, let me know what you think of the book in the comment section. If you haven't, let me know whether there are any things you disagree with about my commentary and any books you recommend which I should read and review in future videos. As usual, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, watch my shorts and my live streams, and make sure that you do anything you can to help improve and increase growth on my channel. The goal is to hit 10,000 subscribers by Christmas because that would be a brilliant Christmas gift from you to me. I have a lot of videos planned for this month, and I am very, very determined to hit that goal. So, as usual, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you in the next one, hopefully, very, very soon. Bye, guys.